Oregon is getting to it in the transfer portal this offseason. News broke a few days ago that Oklahoma transfer QB Dillon Gabriel would be visiting Eugene. But today, there's even bigger news. The number one ranked transfer portal prospect, Walter Nolen, will be at Oregon this weekend as well. So we're going to bring in Scoop Duck insider Justin Hopkins to break down Oregon's chances to land Nolen. But before we get started, Oregon fans, hit subscribe to the On3 Recruits channel. We got recruiting, we got signing day, we got transfer portal. Make sure you're subscribed. All right, let's bring on Justin Hopkins of Scoop Duck. Now, Walter Nolen, defensive lineman, goes 6'4", 345 pounds, and is considered to be the number one prospect in the portal right now. Justin, what are you hearing about the interest level Nolen has in the Ducks?
Yeah, of course, if he's taking a visit and Oregon's the first visit, you got to believe that it's pretty sincere. And this is, look, we know how the transfer portal works with guys like Walter Nolen and their caliber. Oftentimes, these guys going into the portal probably already have a pretty good idea of, let's just say, the top 3 or 4 schools. It's a very short list usually. And I do believe Oregon was very proactive here early on, probably caught wind that this was something that was going to happen, and it seems like they were prepared. And I would offer that the same thing happened with Dillon Gabriel. So
yep.
It's no surprise that both of those guys entered the portal, and it's no surprise that Oregon was an immediate contender for him. It sounds like, Oregon has put themselves in a great position with Nolen, and I'm sure this weekend, the family and Nolen will come up and they'll probably look at some paperwork if I had to guess.
Is there a prior relationship when Walter Nolen was a high school prospect? He was a 5-star. Everybody in the country recruited him. Is there any prior relationship, or are they just going all in on one of the best players in the portal?
Yeah, I mean, you've got Dan Lanning, who's a defensive coach. He loves to recruit. I don't think folks really grasp how much he likes to recruit himself. And, there was a relationship there with Lanning in his time at Georgia, getting to know him. Obviously, he signed with Texas A&M, not Georgia. But, yeah, Dan Lanning does have a prior relationship. And, of course, with Marshall Malco, basically running the recruiting department, he's got such strong ties to that A&M department as well, to a lot of those players as well from recruiting them there.
Yeah. Can they get it done this weekend? And I say that because you and I were just talking before this started. In the transfer portal, these guys take 1 or 2 visits. I mean, typically. Now, of course, there's some that take more, but typically some, especially the top guys, I mean, they generally know where they're going, like you said. So is this something Oregon fans should kind of prep for, like by the end of the weekend, maybe hearing about some news shutting it down?
Yeah, I think there's a really good chance for Oregon to land Dillon Gabriel this weekend and probably close that one up. And that would be a really big push for them to sell to Walter Nolen, which is probably why they had the 2 visit together. So, yeah, I mean, I do believe there's a chance Oregon can get this done this weekend, maybe early next week, because I just, Nolen doesn't strike me as the kind of guy that, he's not posting offers. He's not posting visits or updates on social media. He's going about this pretty quiet. So I do think there's a legit chance for Oregon to get this thing done this weekend.
Wow. So needless to say, are you expecting a big transfer portal haul for the Ducks? Is this just kind of setting the tone for what's going to go on this offseason? Rivalry season is here, and you better have your tickets. There's still some great games left in the season, but you know what's not great? Finding last-minute tickets. Finding tickets before a game can be a nightmare. Do not let this be the way that your season ends. That's why I'm here to tell you about Game Time. It's the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all the big-time matchups. Game Time will get you to this year's biggest college football games with elite deals on last-minute tickets and the best price guarantee. Don't stress over getting into your favorite team's biggest rivalry game of the year. There's only so many big games, and you need to get these tickets at the best prices. Game Time is the place for last-minute ticket deals. Forget planning months in advance. Game Time has deals on tickets right up to the day of the event. Game Time has tickets right up to the start of the event and even an hour after it starts. It is the place to find last-minute tickets. Get exclusive flash deals on tickets on all sports and even concert events. So here's what we're going to do. Snag the tickets without stress with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code INSIDESCOOP to get $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and use code INSIDESCOOP for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed.
Yeah, I think if we're talking in terms of the word big, meaning quality, I think that's exactly what Dan Lanning's doing here. He's going after quality, not quantity. There's not a lot of room at Oregon. He's got a lot of young talent that he's recruited, and brought in that fits his system that he's still developing. So I think you're looking at Oregon signing somewhere between 4 and 8 transfer portal targets, but they're going to be legit, day one immediate contributors like Walter Nolen, Dillon Gabriel, et cetera, et cetera.
All right. Well, if the first 2 visitors are any indication of what's to come, it's going to be a big offseason for the Ducks. We'll see what happens in the next 24, 48 hours with Walter Nolen and Dillon Gabriel. But Justin Hopkins from Scoop Duck, thanks for dropping by the Inside Scoop and talking a little Ducks recruiting with us.
Thanks, Josh.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed that content, be sure to subscribe to the On3 Recruits channel. We have a new page dedicated only to recruiting. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now.